We have Team Unifi, our winners of the DeveloperWeek Hackathon at Clover HQ, for a quick interview.
Okay, so go ahead and tell me about who you are, where you're from, and what you do. Let's start.
Okay. My name is Daniel Chapman. I'm from Glasgow, Scotland, and I'm a front-end web developer. Been working in the kind of IT industry for about 10 to 15 years. Moved through from kind of networking hardware side of things all the way through to the front end. Kind of mostly interested in how users interact with products and services now.
I'm Philippa. I am also from Glasgow in Scotland. I work as a production manager. I've worked in digital marketing for about 6 years and also retail for over time.
Great.
Hey, I'm Chi, or Chi Ming for full. I'm a mobile engineer at Booster Fuel, so we're a Series A company in the Bay Area. Prior to that, I worked in Google Wallet payments for 2 years, so I'm pretty familiar with the payment space, and that's kind of what brought me to Clover. I think you guys are working on something really cool.
Yeah, thank you. We definitely are. So what brought you to DeveloperWeek?
Well, so for my 30th, Philippa got me this trip as a birthday present, which was amazing. So yeah, I'm obviously quite into the whole development thing, so it was a very nice surprise.
Yeah.
So we had about 10 days over here. The first half of that was getting involved with DeveloperWeek. Mainly just kind of experience new things and see what's happening over in the States.
Visit the famous Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
What do you think of it so far?
It's good. The weather's been pretty good apart from today.
A little stormy today. Great. And what about yourself?
Well, the same kind of
Same
reason,
then,
yeah. Good to answer my question for me.
Awesome.
Cool. So for me, it was mostly I really like hackathons. I've only been to one previous one, which was mostly like a hardware-driven one, and so I thought that this would be a good way to leverage some more of like the software skills and build something in software. So it was kind of this massive group of developers all building things that made me really excited about it.
Cool.
Yeah, the hackathon was quite a big draw. It's something that's very unique, I guess. It's something we don't have a lot of back home. And yeah, like as Chi was saying, there's a lot of great potential to meet people and work with really cool products and services.
Like the experience of rapid prototyping things as well is quite interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, great. And I know you two know each other. Obviously, bought him a ticket here. Yeah. But how did your team form, and how did you guys know each other before?
We kind of didn't know each other before. We just kind of like started chatting at Developer Week, and she had an idea of something that he wanted to do, so we were like,
it was very spontaneous.
Yeah.
It was. I was pretty set on building something on top of the Clover device, and it was mostly around kind of just figuring out whether or not other people were interested as much as I was, and luckily Dan and Philippa were really excited about it too, so we just formed on the spot.
Yeah.
Awesome. Just a bunch of random people.
Yeah.
we had some good complementary skills. So Chi was quite into the kind of the hardware and the kind of integration stuff, which was awesome. Philippa was kind of operations and
businessy side of it.
Yeah, like kind of the organisation, doing a lot of
Putting
research
together,
and kind of making sure we're on track. And I was just kind of interested in everything.
Awesome. Great. Okay, so can you tell me a little bit about your project and what influenced you to do it?
You want to do this one?
Sure. So it was inspired by looking at a lot of the tech companies around here. So like if you look at Uber and Airbnb, the way that they phrase success is growth and retention. And so most Silicon Valley companies really adopt growth as in like how can we get most people to use it versus how can we get existing users to come back. So now if you look at existing merchants, local merchants especially, they're really good at retention, right? They all have loyalty cards. They all have good ways of trying to get existing customers to come back. But they really didn't have a sense of like, how do we get new customers to come in the first place? And so we adopted, the Silicon Valley style referral bonus to local merchants. So we built a demo of something that allows you to refer your friends. And as a bonus for referring, you get some credit yourself. And so this is a very cost-effective way for merchants to acquire new users.
Great.
Do you
guys have anything to add on to it?
I think like the main thing that was like interesting to me was the fact that it brought together like my digital and retail backgrounds, and I could totally see like when she first sort of like was chatting us through what he was thinking of like doing, and we kind of first like met each other. To me, I was like, I can totally see where this can go and like the potential in it. So we were like, yeah, definitely keen to get involved.
Perfect partnership over there. And why did you choose to integrate Clover? I know you were talking about you knew Clover prior, so.
I guess I can take this one too. I guess Clover is just like the best kind of platform to do this. It has a lot of great hardware that we can use to scan, these referral codes. It has a great API for us to build into to leverage all of the different components of the device, and it just fit very well into the picture of this referral scheme that we're thinking about.
The access to the app store as well is quite a good thing because it gives the users or the clients, I guess, a lot of flexibility in customizing how the solution works for them.
Right.
When we were developing the solution, we did a bit of research into what was out there already, and we could see that there was a bit of a gap in the market. So that was kind of another element of it too.
Yeah, I mean, apart from the kind of technical side of things, it was great. I just realised the camera was turning to me there. Kind of for me, the interesting thing was being able to get in front of users. So the merchants kind of is one thing, but then the end user and how they kind of interact with businesses, kind of day to day, and with their friends. That was something quite unique from what we could see, and there was nothing else that really supported the ability to get something good in front of the users.
Interesting.
So Clover allowed us that.
Yes, Clover. So what was your experience using React Native instead of Java?
I'll let the developers answer that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've done a little bit of Android programming, but I think the developer ecosystem right now is moving a lot towards JavaScript as the kind of language that drives anything user facing. And so part of the challenge at the 30-hour hackathon was, do we try to figure out how to do this in Java ourselves with no experience prior, or do we try to wrap a lot of the APIs in a React Native way, and that'll open the doors for rapid development for a lot of other developers? So we chose the latter. It paid off quite well. I think our demo, we demoed the barcode scanner being fully wrapped in React Native with a custom UI being built on top of it. So at this rate, there's multiple different components as well. There's the card reader that we didn't have a chance to wrap, but I think this prototype shows how easy it is to just use your APIs and how fast developer can just prototype things, for a 30-hour hackathon using a device that we've never used before.
Yeah, we were kind of able to demonstrate the end-to-end process through from receiving the voucher, the referral from your friend, taking it to a merchant, scanning it, receiving the bonuses, and then getting recommended sort of redemption too from that.
You have anything to add on to that?
I think it was pretty well covered.
Okay.
Just the ability to get stuck in really quickly, kind of get a proof of concept together. If you put a lot of barriers up for that sort of process, then you put people off quite quickly when they're wanting to try something out. So yeah, it kind of just opened up doors, and it was good.
Easier to get through Java. So how did you interact with our SDKs even though you were using React Native?
All right, I'll take that one too. Please add on if you have anything more. But it was very simple. It was there was an example code base that was put together. It was like a Android SDK sample. And we kind of just took that, tried it once, scanned a barcode, realized that it was fully functional, and just took out the different pieces that we needed to build it into React Native. So it was, I would say the example project really helped with that. When I went back, I realized that there was a whole array of example projects that we didn't know at the time of the hackathon. So getting access to those would have been even more helpful. It would have expanded kind of our reach in prototyping in the 30 hours that was part of the hackathon.
30 hours, gosh.
Yeah, we had quite a few more kind of potential things that we would have liked to add on, hitting up a few more of the API endpoints. So we kind of did a REST service that we probably would have pushed a lot further in terms of grabbing a bit more data, kind of feeding that back to the mobile app, as well as probably the mobile app talking to the devices itself. So there's a lot of potential that we could have touched upon, but yeah, time constraints. And
yeah, at the start we kind of spoke about different ideas that we had, and we kind of were like, right, obviously we don't have a huge amount of time, so we chose the ones that we thought would be the most interesting and the core to the user. So once we stripped it back, we were able to kind of build something that showed that end-to-end process, but we, like I said, we can see there's loads more that we can do with it.
Yeah, there was a lot of ideas. Philippa had this awesome idea of maybe we can use an integration with Fitbit that says if you walked really far to come to the merchant, then we'll reward you with more points than if you just walked outside in your house. And so there was a ton of interesting ideas
like,
that we came
like
up
with
with.
maps as well, like kind of having like a near me, so like almost like that similar interface to like Uber has, where you can see all the cars, like where you can go on and you can do like the filters and see like where the different location like and different types of retailers are. So like if you wanted to go and get like a coffee, like you could see the coffee places and
So
like the
kinda like
different
Yelp.
rewards that they do and things like that. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, the location side of it has a good potential there. There's probably a lot more we could do, and obviously with the kind of idea that we were going for, it's quite local. Like, so you want to know the things close to you and how you interact with kind of the local shops. So we could have pushed that further, and that's good.
Only if you had more time.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So why would merchants use this app, and how would it improve their business?
I think like the fact, like I touched on before, like the fact that it's customizable for like the merchant is a massive thing. Like in retail, when I've worked there before, like getting access to the different tools to be able to like sort of manage your marketing experience and like drill down into like your customer profiling, and then making sure that the offers that you're providing are tailored to them is like really good. So if we're able to offer that sort of centralized solution for both businesses and then also like customers, so you can take it as far as like they're able to centralize the receipt management and like see what they're spending the most money on. Like there's so much possibilities with it that like I think offering that really sort of tailored experience that is like almost like a one-stop shop for everything that you're trying to do is like where we could potentially see it going.
And for the merchants, it's just the potential for, you know, a great increase in your customer base, right? Like, is essentially going to make them a lot more money, which is, I mean, that's it, right? It's just going to it's going to make them more money, and it's going to benefit the users and the merchant. So yeah, it's just kind of the ability for the merchant to reach their users in a much more kind of cost-effective manner and timely manner as well.
Yeah, like if your existing customers are able to draw in new customers for you, the cost of acquisition totally goes down. So it's win-win.
They kind of just stole everything. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Great. So those are all the questions I have for you. Do you guys have anything else to add on before we wrap it up?
I think we've kind of touched on everything.
Yeah, no, I think just it, like, we can compare things to back home in Scotland, and back there there's nothing really that we've seen that is similar to Clover. That kind of ability for developers to get involved, or one system to support a lot of different kind of verticals or, you know, types of businesses, and you know, the point of sale systems back there are just terrible. Like I think for everyone involved, you just hear so many stories from people that run businesses or work there that it's just, there's always issues.
Yeah, like in my experience, they like crash all the time. Like they're not flexible. Like being able to do updates is really difficult. They don't really intend to integrate with like CRMs, or if they do, it's really limited on what they can do, and getting the data out of it is really hard. So like I think there's a lot that Clover offers that other sort of point of sales don't.
Yeah.
I just wish we can have some Clover devices to play with in our spare time. I think I mentioned this to James before.
Talk to James about that.
But you guys have a really cool product, I think.
Thank you.
Just trying it for
really
the first time was quite a great experience.
Yeah, like the team were super supportive when we were doing the hackathon too, like answering all the sort of technical questions that these guys had. I think they were up there like every 5 minutes being like, what about this?
Yeah, definitely the team were great. Lots of support, very hospitable, and awesome. Pretty humbled by the experience, to be honest.
Awesome. Thanks for coming to Silicon Valley, guys. Bring some Clover devices back with you so you can have it in Scotland, and invite us to Scotland also. That'd be awesome. But thanks for sitting down and answering these questions.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.